some listening while she comes. And I found the other day this particular exercise. It contains all the different exercises.
Okay.
The listening exam.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was very difficult was the one with the spaces. This one, for example. This one is so interesting that the second one is the most popular, you see?
Yes.
That makes sense because that's the most difficult one. Do you remember this type of exercise? How it works? And
Not exactly. Well, maybe I have to complete the space, no?
right, you need to complete the space, but using information that the speaker is saying. But it's only one speaker or probably two speakers in an interview, in a conversation. But
Okay.
it's only one audio for all the options.
No, okay, yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I don't like it. But
Well, the last time was really hard, but I think this time with the strategy that we got, it will be good to implement it now by
okay.
understanding phrases and everything. So let's try it.
But is it is the answer in the is it well sorry for example is the will I hear the answer in the audio or do I have to to paraphrase or is literally the
Oh,
same in the
okay.
audio
No, the audio will never be the same, but there is some instructions always. So let's read the instructions. Read it for me so we can get it accustomed to it.
Okay, you will hear a woman called Jane Robertson giving a talk about a language called Gaelic. For question 9 to 18, complete the sentences with a word or short phrase.
You see, a word or short phrase. According to the exams that we have, it should be only top like 3 word stops. That's it.
Okay.
But here it says short phrase, so there's no limit in this. Okay. Let me check the answer key to check what's the limit on the words. Okay, you will need 2 word stops. No more than two words.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So let's bring it up. Similar to the exam, remember that we play this twice and then we answer. I think the audio is going to give you some seconds for you to get familiar with the questions. So let's try to do it. Ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Gaelic woman. Now turn to part 2. You will hear a woman called Jane Robertson giving a talk about a language called Gaelic. For questions 9 to 18, complete the sentences with a word or short phrase. You now have 45 seconds to look at part 2. Hello, my name's Jane Robertson and I'm here to talk to you about a language you may not have heard much about before, Gaelic. I work at a Gaelic school in Scotland. I'm the head teacher, in fact. There aren't very many of these schools at the moment, so I'm lucky to have such an interesting job. Maybe I should start by explaining exactly what Gaelic is. It's a very old language that was spoken in most of Scotland outside the cities up to a couple of hundred years ago. Today, unfortunately, very few people speak or even understand the language. Only about 60,000 in the whole of Scotland. Now, you may think that sounds like rather a large number of people, but the total population of Scotland is over 5 million. So you can see that the number of Gaelic speakers form a relatively small proportion of the population as a whole. And according to experts, a language is dead if fewer than 50,000 people speak it. You see, you have to have a large number of people using the language in everyday situations, not just linguists or people who learn it as a hobby. It needs to be a normal part of a lot of ordinary people's lives, or it simply doesn't qualify. So, our aim is to get as many people as possible interested in learning it. And young people, those under 25, are particularly important. I would like to see a third of them speaking and writing the language. Then we could begin to say it was in a healthy state. At my school, all the teaching is in Gaelic, whatever subject the children are learning. This is very important because it has been discovered that very young children learn a language best if they're completely exposed to it, hearing and speaking the language all day. Of course, it's a bit of a shock for them at first, but we have some wonderful teachers and they're trained to cope with that. Quite a lot of parents send their children to our school because they want their children to know about the history of the country, cultural reasons like that. But of course, it's also well known that it's good for a child to grow up speaking 2 languages perfectly. And in fact, these children grow up to be bilingual. This gives them many advantages. It's been scientifically proven that bilingual children do better at tests, and there's reliable evidence that they're also more tolerant and imaginative. In this case, an added advantage is that children of Scottish origin are rediscovering Scotland's mother tongue. Many people feel pessimistic about the future of Gaelic, and I can see why. When you look at the figures, it could appear that there's little hope, but I myself am extremely optimistic. In fact, when it comes to situations like this, there's an example which is encouraging, and it's quite close to home. Not that long ago, the Welsh language was in real danger of dying out. Some children may have grandparents who speak it as a first language, but in many parts of Wales, it's rare for kids to grow up speaking Welsh instead of English at home. However, with a lot of effort, it's been possible to save the Welsh language. The important thing is to have government support and enough money available. In Wales, virtually 80% of children now learn Welsh as a second language at school. It's been a real success story, and I hope that we'll eventually be able to do the same in Scotland. Now you will hear part 2 again. Hello, my name's Jane Robertson, and I'm here to talk to you about a language you may not have heard much about before, Gaelic. I work at a Gaelic school in Scotland. I'm the head teacher, in fact. There aren't very many of these schools at the moment, so I'm lucky to have such an interesting job. Maybe I should start by explaining exactly what Gaelic is. It's a very old language that was spoken in most of Scotland outside the cities up to a couple of hundred years ago. Today, unfortunately, very few people speak or even understand the language. Only about 60,000 in the whole of Scotland. Now, you may think that sounds like rather a large number of people, but the total population of Scotland is over 5 million. So you can see that the number of Gaelic speakers form a relatively small proportion of the population as a whole. And according to experts, a language is dead if fewer than 50,000 people speak it. You see, you have to have a large number of people using the language in everyday situations, not just linguists or people who learn it as a hobby. It needs to be a normal part of a lot of ordinary people's lives, or it simply doesn't qualify. So, our aim is to get as many people as possible interested in learning it. And young people, those under 25, are particularly important. I would like to see 1/3 of them speaking and writing the language. Then we could begin to say it was in a healthy state. At my school, all the teaching is in Gaelic, whatever subject the children are learning. This is very important because it has been discovered that very young children learn a language best if they're completely exposed to it, hearing and speaking the language all day. Of course, it's a bit of a shock for them at first, but we have some wonderful teachers and they're trained to cope with that. Quite a lot of parents send their children to our school because they want their children to know about the history of the country, cultural reasons like that. But of course, it's also well known that it's good for a child to grow up speaking 2 languages perfectly. And in fact, these children grow up to be bilingual. This gives them many advantages. It's been scientifically proven that bilingual children do better at tests, and there's reliable evidence that they're also more tolerant and imaginative. In this case, an added advantage is that children of Scottish origin are rediscovering Scotland's mother tongue. Many people feel pessimistic about the future of Gaelic, and I can see why. When you look at the figures, it could appear that there's little hope, but I myself am extremely optimistic. In fact, when it comes to situations like this, there's an example which is encouraging, and it's quite close to home. Not that long ago, the Welsh language was in real danger of dying out. Some children may have grandparents who speak it as a first language, but in many parts of Wales, it's rare for kids to grow up speaking Welsh instead of English at home. However, with a lot of effort, it's been possible to save the Welsh language. The important thing is to have government support and enough money available. In Wales, virtually 80% of children now learn Welsh as a second language at school. It's been a real success story, and I hope that we'll eventually be able to do the same in Scotland.
There it is.
Okay.
Did you leave any space in blank?
Yes.
No,
Like
which
like
one?
10. No, let me see. Is the number 15? Well,
Number 15.
It's not in blank, but I'm not sure if I understand the word.
But for pronunciation reasons, probably.
Maybe.
Okay, what else?
That's it, I think.
Really? Did you actually catch number? I don't know if I'm sure about 13. What did you write in number 13?
I think that 13 is it all day?
All day. That okay. That's a good answer.
I'm not sure if it's correct or not.
You're probably right. I wrote at a young age, but it's redundant.
Yeah.
And hearing and speaking, but grammatically doesn't match. Well, it does, but I'm not sure if it's. I like your answer better. Okay, what did you get in number 9?
Number 9, head teacher.
Correct. If you write this separately, probably you're wrong. Okay, so be careful to write it together.
Oh, it's together. Okay. Oh, yes, like head cashier, head. Okay, yeah.
Oh, wait, it's possible to write it separately.
Okay.
All right. Okay, British. This is actually British English, the head teacher.
Okay.
In Harry Potter, they call Dumbledore the headmaster.
Oh, I didn't know.
So it's pretty much the same vocabulary. And in American English, they use the word principal.
Okay, principal, yes.
Got it?
Yep.
There you have it. Next. Number 10. What did you write on number 10?
Approximately 60,000, 60,000.
60,000, you are right.
Yeah.
The word is
I wasn't
60,000.
I wasn't sure if it was 6 or 60, but in the second repetition I got the 60.
Good. No, actually, very good job. That was precisely the tip. Is first check the pronunciation, what you can catch, and then the second one to self-correct. That strategy was great. Good job. Good job. 60,000. Number 11.
Number 11, if fewer than is 50,000.
If fewer than 50,000 people. Correct. Good job. Well, by the way, did you spell it or did you write numbers?
Numbers. I
Okay,
think that it's faster.
that's actually considered correct, okay?
Okay.
If you spell it and you miss a Y, for example, you write an extra Y or an extra T or a hyphen, it is considered incorrect.
That's something bad. But actually, I wrote the number because I think it is faster than the complete word.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yes, that was a good solution, to be honest. Good. Okay. Number 12.
12, speaking and writing.
Correct. How do you spell writing?
Writing, W-R, sorry.
W-R.
Oh, just give me a second. I will put my kitten in the cage.
Okay. Yes, go.
W-R-I, I think it's double T.
Right. Good.
Right. What double T
Look,
I N?
it's not double T.
Okay. Yes.
That's a very common mistake because we understand the double T in written, the past participle. The past participle has double T, but the ing doesn't. Be careful because that's another source of a mistake, of a cross.
Okay.
Okay. I actually have the same problem. I wrote writing with double T. That's totally.
Okay.
Yes, I wanted to verify that one. Okay, the 1,000 pesos question. 13. You said all day, right?
Yes. Oh, there.
You're right.
Okay.
Yes, brother. The answer was all day. Okay, so I had one mistake over here. I got confused. How did you get the answer?
I think that she started with something different, but at the end of the day, I read the phrase, and she said something similar, no, but in a different word, with different words, that it's better to expose children, and they learn, I think, something like faster if they are exposed to the language all day, even it can be shocked.
Even if. Even
No?
if.
Even if, yeah.
Even if. Copy idea?
Even if it is shocked.
Excellent. Shocking. ING.
Oh, yes, shocking.
even if it's shocking, or even if they are shocked.
Yeah.
Remember, ing versus past participle. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
Good job, brother. Good job. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to add that part. That was a good one. Okay, number 14.
14. Some parents send their children to Jane's school for cultural reasons.
Correct. Good job. In this case, the pronunciation is similar to future, culture.
Cultural.
Exactly.
Cultural.
It's not a
Okay.
T. Don't pronounce the T.
Culture.
Culture, future,
Culture.
architecture,
Okay.
structure.
Okay. Culture.
Mm.
Okay.
And cultural with the ending L.
Cultural. Cultural. Okay.
Good.
Yes. She started with something like they wanted to learn more about the history or something like that, no? And
Yes.
he summarized it like cultural reasons.
Right, exactly. She first gave an explanation and then she said, for cultural reasons, in other words.
Yeah.
Good. Number 15.
Jane, sorry, says that two characters, traits of language children are being more I hear something like imagine I don't know what I wrote.
Try to build that.
Imaginative or something like that. I didn't understand very well.
Okay.
Imaginative.
You need to, whenever you have a struggle with pronunciation, especially talking about British pronunciation, you should use other abilities that can back up your listening. Okay, you have some abilities that can back up it. In this case, you can use word formation and think about suffixes and prefixes.
Okay.
How do you transform the noun imagination into an adjective?
Imagine. I think that we need to add uh, uh, an IBE. No.
Okay, but if imagine,
Well, we need to substitute, no? Yeah. Imaginative.
that's it. The letter T is very strongly pronounced in British English.
Okay.
So this TF is a letter T, is not an S. You wrote imaginative with S.
Yes, something like that.
That's because the letter T is very strong in British English. You see what I mean?
Yes.
And these audios are British. All of them are British. There's no big difference on the structure, but yes, in pronunciation. So you need to use your structure knowledge to fulfill and complete information from the, information that you're missing.
Okay.
All right, number 16.
And 16. Jane feels, no, okay. Is optimistic.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
she said extremely optimistic, but I think that if I use extremely, it's like repeating the or making emphasize like with very, no? So very
Exactly.
extremely optimistic, it doesn't make sense.
Very is an adverb. Extremely is an adverb. You would be redundant if you add. Okay, number 17.
17, yeah. Jane says that what is needed is help from the government.
Yes, correct. She literally used the word how government support. That was the help on this one. The synonyms. Good. And number 18?
18, with a lot of effort nowadays, 80% of children learns Welsh as a second language.
Exactly. The answer here is the word second. Brother, if this were your exam, you would have had 100. Probably only the spelling of
writing.
Yeah.
And also the part of, well, maybe I could correct the imaginative.
Exactly. If you correct the imaginative on time, if you realize, hey, the word imaginative sounds strange,
Yeah.
you can actually use it as a reference to make a correction, and that can help you a little bit. The tricky part was writing. This is intentionally like that because this type of exams know the common mistakes that learners do, and this is a very common mistake. People writing writing in ing with double t.
Okay.
So this is
Yes.
strategically put.
Oh yes, well, it was not really hard.
I agree. I agree. This even though it was an easy exam, but this can let us focus on the tricks, that the exam does. Sometimes it's vocabulary that vocabulary makes it a little bit more difficult, but it has some tricks, some spelling tricks, some audio tricks. No, for example, first in number 16, she said most people feel pessimistic. So if you stop listening there, you're gonna miss the real answer. That's very common in this type of.
Yes, yes, I know that how say that parts because
Those parts.
yes, those parts because I think that I have experience with this kind of exams. They always put like extra information, and maybe in the middle of at the end is the real answer.
Right. But now with your knowledge of phrases, you can actually see where the information is. Isolate information.
Yeah.
You see, it's natural after all the past classes.
Yes.
So
they were difficult, but yes, they were also helpful.
That's why. That's precisely why. Good job. Okay, Silvana's here, but I want to know if she can speak.
No, I think she cannot. She just left the office.
Not yet. Awesome. Okay. Okay. So then let's watch a new topic so we can get new structures. And because we did some listening, now I want to see some reading with you.
Okay, sure.
Right? And reading comes along very similar abilities as we are using in the listening section. Because when you are absorbing information, you need to separate those these like big chunks of information into phrases, and separating everything into phrases is really helpful. So
yeah.
let's talk about that. Okay. Vocabulary. Let's go through 498. talk about the following text. Okay. These words, the words that I'm selecting, they are B2 verbs, and there are some, no, B2 vocabulary, and there are some expressions.
Okay.
Similar to what the expression that we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the following words. 1, 2, 3, action, Isaac.
There is bacon. Bacon
Transition,
is
transition.
vehicle.
Excellent.
Vehicle. I can't, that's difficult. It's better to say car.
No. Hard. That's kindergarten.
Vehicle.
Vehicle.
Okay. It's a synonym, no, of a car, truck, or van. Well, no, it's not. I think that it how to say, like I don't know how to say, like it includes those words, no, but car is not the same than a truck, so it's a vehicle.
Exactly. It's a machine used to transport things or people. That's a vehicle.
Okay.
Now, I need you to associate the letter E with its corresponding pronunciation, V, because every time you see a letter E, you pronounce it E.
Yeah.
That makes me think that you're thinking in Spanish.
Yeah. Okay. Vehicle.
Exactly.
Vehicle. Okay.
Vehicle.
Vehicle. Okay. Vehicle.
Right. Okay. Next.
Internal combustion engine. The petrol gas engine used in cars and trucks. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Sorry. Next.
Is fleet the
Yes.
total number of cars? Okay. Yes. Is it like for example, these internet companies like Telmex or Easy have a lot of cars, no? So all those cars are their fleet.
Their fleet.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Good.
Manufacture is a verb to make, to produce. Okay.
That's easy.
Is exemption. Exemption, dispensation, authorization to not do something. Okay, yes, I think that I understand it. Incentive is encouragement, something to make someone want something. Okay, yes. But is it a noun? Encouragement or
The exemption?
no, incentive.
Incentive.
Exemption is a noun, no?
Yes,
Yes,
right.
yes, but no, but the next one, incentive.
Incentive is a noun too.
Okay, it's like how can I say, like an award or something similar?
Award. I like it.
An award could be an incentive, huh?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
But you were using the word exemption or incentive because you are pronouncing both.
Oh,
You refer
incentive.
the second one, no?
Yes.
Then you are right. If that's an award, something that you receive after or to motivate you into your job.
Okay. Be on track is going fast enough. Be on track. Okay, I have a be on track. Is be on track too?
Be on track too.
Okay, be on track too is going fast enough to. Okay, I think is it. No, I don't understand it very well. Could you give me an example?
Sure. Let's try to do what we did yesterday.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Check this out.
The current Congress is on track to become the least productive in history.
It's on track to become. Is what I said.
Highest now. Well, it may have something to do with the increased polarization of Washington. The current Congress is on track to become the least productive in history. And the judge.
Okay, yes, I think that I understand.
What does it mean?
I think that is like, like it is like going or progressing like in the way you want. So when something is like going as you want to.
That part, I'm not sure. It's not that you are that you desire. No. It's more about
Something that is something that is happening. That is, for example,
something that is happening quickly.
Quickly, okay, but you are well, it's like independent on you, so you
Exactly.
don't okay.
Totally. It usually is used to represent consequences of other things.
Okay. For example, well, I was thinking, for example, in the cost of concerts. Concerts. So, for example, concerts. But I have to change the verb. No, well, for example, concert are on track to become how say when you cannot afford it. When is
expensive.
like unpayable, is it correct?
Oh, okay. You want to say unpayable? That exists.
So it's something that you cannot afford, no? Or you cannot.
Exactly.
Okay. For example, concerts are on track to become unpayable for the Mexican population. Something like that. Okay.
That's a good example. Very good.
Well, yes, because I was checking the cost of Corona Capital. And
How much is it for the Corona?
And the phase one is like 5,000 for the 3 days, for the access for the 3 days.
5,000 pesos for the 3 days. That was the last year too, wasn't it?
I don't remember actually. We tried. Yes, it was something similar, but the problem is we didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
We tried to get the tickets, but we couldn't. When we found them, it was like in phase 4 or 5, but it was really expensive. It's like 7,000 pesos or something like that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I yeah. In the next phases, it becomes really.
Yes, it's almost 1,000 per phase.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That like the business model is to buy them as quick as possible or to sell them as quick as possible to motivate you.
It's horrible actually.
Yeah, that's just the worst. The worst
let
part.
me take a note on Beyond Track.
Sure.
Okay. Ready. But yes, now that it's something really crazy. But we will try to get them in phase one only.
Do you know anyone this year? Anyone who's
Yes, actually, I want to go for the Luminaries, for Pulp, for Phoenix. I don't remember. There are others like Tudor Cinema Club. I don't remember others. I don't remember the others.
But
But
you
yes,
already mentioned a couple of them.
yes, but there are. But I only know the headliners. Is it? Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
headliners.
headliners.
But the rest, they are completely unknown for me.
Oh no.
But
That's
well, I remember that the first time we went, we discovered like new bands, and it was really, really good, a really nice experience.
I love the Corona Capital. It's
Yeah,
so good. I really
yeah,
like it. Yeah, when you know a couple of them, it's a great experience.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, very good. So there you have it. To be on track to. It's becoming
Okay,
quickly becoming, the quickly transforming into.
okay.
Mhm.
The next one was sustainable,
Mhm.
sustainable, permanent, and not bad for the environment. Okay, I think that is it's something that we have here a lot in the past years, no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In recent
Yes,
times.
especially with maybe with the transportation, no?
Mhm.
Yeah,
And because everybody's trying to look for sustainable things in this crisis in the economy.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Go on.
Grid, grid network.
Mhm.
Are they like synonyms?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I haven't. But is it a network like how can I say it? Is it like an object or it's like an abstract concept? Like
Well, both. It can be both.
okay, like grid when you are like when you want to get get fish from the ocean or something like that.
Oh, okay. But
Or
that will
that's
be
different.
only net,
Net. Okay, well, yes, okay, yes, you're
not
right.
network.
Network is like the connections, no?
Exactly.
Okay.
Connections between, it can be either people, peers, but it can also be talking about batteries, computers, cars. You can talk about
Mm,
wires, chips, communication between components, internal components in the machine. That's a network as well,
okay, okay, yes.
right? And a very common way in computing is the word grid.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, I get it. Okay, the next one, power, electricity, or other sources of energy, devices, machine. How do you apparatus? How do you pronounce it?
Yes, apparatus.
Apparatus. Okay, I haven't heard that.
Never.
No.
Apparatus is like used for, let's say, how can I tell you? It's the Latin derivation of the word device.
Device?
Device.
Okay, yes.
And precisely, do you remember that we were talking about words that are similar to Spanish are actually considered formal because they are derivatives of academic language?
Yes. So,
The word apparatus is precisely one of them.
okay, okay.
The most common word is the word device, but some magazines, some articles, some uh, what's the name of these documentaries, you will probably hear the word apparatus.
Okay.
All right. The next one.
Gas or gasoline, American, petrol, British. Okay, yes. Oh, I know that gasoline is petrol in England.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe another.
Yes, there are a couple of differences, no?
Yes. Okay. And the next one is quantum leap or radical new development. No, I haven't heard that.
Never? Have
No.
you haven't you heard the word leap?
Yes, maybe, but no, I don't remember it.
The action of jumping, when you
Mhm.
jump, you stay in the same place. You're jumping.
Okay.
You leap, you go forward,
Okay. So,
right? One thing is to jump, another thing is to leap. A frog leaps. A frog doesn't jump.
In Spanish, we use the same word, no?
Exactly.
Okay, but
When you're
we are
talking about a quantum leap, is something that is so extremely strong
okay.
for in the name of progress.
Okay, yes. I
Right?
think that I understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, and underway, started, in progress. Okay,
This is an adjective.
Está. Okay, an adjective. So, but it's when you are talking about something that already started, no? So that's why it's started and in progress.
That already started? No. That
No,
has that is started.
it's started.
We are talking about an adjective, not a verb.
Okay.
If you say already started, you're using started as a verb.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
You
I
see?
get it, yeah.
Here it's an adjective. Something that is started, something that is in progress, something that is underway.
Okay.
Okay? There you have it. The reading is called The Electric Car, the Revolution. The Electric Car Revolution. Is it realistic or optimistic?
Okay.
Okay. The photo that you see over here is a battery, a car battery.
Okay.
I know. It looks very similar to an engine, but actually it's a massive power bank.
Yes.
Mhm. I went to, just for curiosity, I was doing nothing and I passed next to a Chevrolet agency. And I remember one day I was in a mall, like walking through the mall, and then I saw this car called the Bolt, and it was connected to like it was charging. And I was like, dude, this is so cool. And I started checking the car, and I was like that. And then I was like, one day I'm going to go and check it in the agency. And last weekend I went to, just because I was passing by, no? And I was like, yeah, I want to know the Bolt. Let me see it. And I was fascinated by the car. It was like so amazing. And I asked the guy, hey, can you open the front trunk? Because I want to see what is in front, because this car has no engine.
Yes,
So
actually.
what is in front? Let me see. So the guy opens up and I see a lot of wires and some liquids, but technically all of the liquids were just for the wheels and for the brakes. There was
Okay.
nothing like anti-cooling. There was
Yeah, no,
no
it,
water.
it's not necessary.
No, exactly. There was a lot
Well,
of things that were not necessary.
actually, I'm not sure. Is it necessary to how could I say that to get freeze this kind of engine?
Frozen? Freeze?
Yes, well, yes, like in the normal cars, you need to I don't know if it's anti-correct to make
Anti-cooler.
it, yes, no, but is it necessary something similar for this kind of cars?
That's what I was asking, and he told me that this model doesn't need it, the Bolt. There are some others that use some like hybrid cars that actually hit because they get frozen or they get heat.
Yes,
Like
yes.
heat up too much. So that in order to balance the temperature, they use it, but the ball doesn't need it. I
That's
was
really cool.
fascinated, yes.
But I imagine that they are really expensive. But
I checked the price, of course. They made me,
yeah.
they gave me a quotation, of course. Yeah, they told me,
But
"Hey, can
yes,
you give me a quotation?" And just for
but
curiosity.
they look really fun actually. I really like them.
It's
There is
wonderful.
I will know. I have seen some cars like with the brand of the with this name of the company Bemo is BEMO.
Okay.
Have you seen them? I
No,
have seen them in Uber, but I'm not sure if they work with electricity or with gas because they are they those cars don't make any noise.
bro, if they don't make noise, it's very probably electric.
I just Google them and they are like electric
What's the name?
vehicles because B uh no how can what's the name of the other B?
The other V. Pronounce it with your teeth. V.
B V
V.
B E M O.
Vimo.
Yeah, Bimo.
Wow. What I want. Vimo.
Yes, they are really nice. I think that they are. I'm not sure, but the cars the cars have a slogan that says that they are a Mexican company. They belong.
Oh, they're Mexican, really?
Yeah.
Wow. But Vimo looks like a. Are the cars Vimo?
Yes, I think.
It looks like a service, like a transportation service.
Well, I'm not sure if it is like a. I'm not sure if they provide the car to the drivers so they can work for this is for Uber or Didi, or if they can acquire like the car separately by their own and then work for them. But no, I think that they are together. Like they have to acquire in order to use them for Uber and Didi services because I haven't seen any car in any other place. Only when we ask for an Uber.
And a Vimo arrives.
Yeah. Well, I really like them.
So it's only electric. Okay, look. So what they do is their fleets are formed by electric cars, but it's not the branding of the car.
Mm,
Like they don't provide the car, it's any type of electric car.
okay, yes.
Oh, yeah,
That was
because
interesting.
I don't know what is that. Bio? Detail? What is that? That's really interesting. As
Yeah.
a model, really interesting, yeah. So they are starting like a clean mobility ecosystem, it says over here. Wow. Well, I don't think they manufacture the cars.
Yes, maybe they just like acquire the fleet and they like maybe it's like a leasing service.
Something like that. Yes.
Yes.
So you apply to drive their cars. That's actually pretty
Maybe
interesting.
yes.
Well, that's the difficult part about about buying an electric car because most of them are dedicated to services and that's a name. Beat.
I haven't heard about it.
All of them. Tesla, Jack, and Beat. Who knows? Here it is. Beat D1.
No, yes. So the company that manufactures the cars is BID, no?
It's Beat, Teslas,
And
Jacks.
I don't know what's that.
And that's it. Which are Chinese cars. They are very popular right now. Chinese cars in Mexico are very, very popular. Which is precisely that's the way. And Chinese cars are going to get very popular because they're gonna have a better manufacturing cost. In opposite to Chevrolet, that all of them are imported cars. Volkswagen are made here, and Nissan they are made here, but they are not electric. They are hybrid.
Yeah.
There's just a couple of cars that are actually electric.
Completely electric.
Exactly. And many of the brands that are totally electric, they are testing the market in the United States. They haven't brought them to Mexico. For example, there is a Ford Lobo.
And yes, I saw it the other day. Well, I don't, to be honest, I don't like cars, but yes, they look really interesting.
Yes. Me neither, I don't like cars, but I like technology. So when they are talking about like moving a car with the power of a cell phone, I am very curious about it. Because it's a massive cell phone.
Yes, the problem is maybe the cost right now.
Yeah. With everything. With everything.
Actually, with inflation, it's horrible to live in Mexico.
Even coffee is expensive. Like, whatever.
Just today, I was a little stressed, so I went to the 7 to get a candy or something like that, and I was looking for something below the 20 pesos, and there is nothing. Come on. So I just have like 20 pesos in cash, and then I had to pay with my card. So I said, "Come on, agancito is so expensive." I bought panditas, and it was like 24 pesos. It has only like 8 panditas, and that's it.
Dude, the consequence of COVID, bro.
Yes, no, it's horrible.
Yeah. All of this. I'm gonna send you a video of the guy that I love to see. And it's so funny. And it's precisely what he does, is to remember or to remind you that like 2 years ago we had a little break from the office. And 2 years later the chetos are 35 pesos.
Yes, exactly. And the problem is that for example, I got used to not spend money because I was at home. So and because of the COVID, I didn't went out to the
street, to real life.
Yes, and I actually I just went to the market to get basic supplies, and that's it, no?
Yeah.
But now that I have the opportunity to be in the street and compare the cost of the living cost, it's
crazy.
It's something shocking.
Exactly, like coming back to our life from the past was a bad idea because we faced a different cost for everything that we used to do before COVID. Coming back to the same life is like, whoa, what happened? Well, What a surprise. That's what happened while we were in our houses.
Yes, and also because of the war, no, between Russia and is it Ukraine? Ukraine?
There are so many factors. Yeah,
Yes,
that
actually.
will be one of the things. Plus China becoming a better power than
And
than
US.
the US. I mean, there's so many, and we depend a lot in the United States.
Yeah, totally.
There's so many things going on. So yeah, that's just the consequence of it. That's why many people say, hey, don't get tricked by commercials that tell you that the new revolution is electric cars, because the electric cars came to rescue the industry, not you, and not the planet.
Yes, actually.
These
Yes.
cars are not for the benefit of the planet. They are not for the benefit of your pocket. It's for the benefit of the car industry, the manufacturing industry.
Yes, they are moving on with the resources that they have. No? Yes,
Exactly.
they are. So it doesn't mean that it's good for us, only for they.
Right. So by buying a car that is really, really expensive, who knows if it's really beneficial for the public? Nobody knows in this moment.
Yes, actually, because it's something that is just happening right now. So we don't like like a president.
President.
No, so like something.
Oh, a president. No,
Is it
I don't
correct?
know. No.
Or is what I'm just inventing?
Yeah, let me check. President.
Sitting, no? President.
President. President is with. I would see. Oops. President preceding previous.
Yes, we haven't had any previous case or any previous study about it. So yes,
Correct.
it's. I imagine that it's something difficult to know, as you mentioned, but companies are selling those cars as if they were the solution. No?
Number one, as if they were the solution, and number two, for the young people.
Yes.
They always promote it for the young.
Yes, they know the target.
Exactly. Targets.
Target. Oh, yes.
They know the target. It's for us. And bro, I'm fighting for my pension, and you want me to buy an electric car? That's crazy. Give me two. Okay, give me two.
Like with the price of the Corona.
After complaining for hours.
Yes, but I want.
Exactly. Look at the prices. Give me 2 kilos.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how money works. Okay, man. Well, what we're gonna do is tomorrow we're gonna practice this reading, but separating by phrases.
Oh, okay. It's a long read.
Precisely. I want you to practice using this text, but getting familiar with the vocabulary, getting familiar with the partition of words, because again, breaking this into phrases can actually help you memorize words very fast, so we can go directly to the questions. The faster you do the reading section, the easier and more secure is your result.
Yes, completely. Okay.
So that's our mission, this section. Right, if you want to screenshot, take it.
Just give me a second. Okay, ready.
Awesome, man. All right. Well, I will see you then later. Right. Have a
Okay.
good night. Let's finish the session right now because I gotta make a phone call.
Okay, sure.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you. Thanks.
All right. See you later, man.
Bye.
Bye, Sylvie. See you later.
I
If
think
you are
she
there.
hasn't arrived.
Oh no, poor thing. She needs an electric car.
We need a motorcycle here in the city.
Yes, I want a motorcycle too. I hope you can get one soon.
Yes, maybe.
All right, man. See you later.
See you. Bye.
Bye.